What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Breaker Bros Gaming. It's another story time video, and I got some Black Ops 3 footage playing in the background. Not the greatest, but it'll do for today. Anyway, today's video, I'm going to be talking about the time we had a crazy car crash on New Year's Eve. I think it was in 2013, I believe it was. And basically what happened was... Mute that crap. Basically what happened was... New Year's Eve, like, my family's not big on partying or anything like that, so we were like, hey, we could go to the movies, go see a movie or something like that, that'd be pretty cool. So we were like, yeah, let's go do that. And I want to say it was like a Marvel movie or something that had come out maybe at that time. And so we were like, we can go do that. So we went and saw a movie, and then we got out, and it was still like only 9 o'clock, and we were like, well, it's still pretty early. What should we do now? And my parents, being who they are, were like, we could go see another movie. And so we were like, yeah, cool, let's go do that. So we got out of that movie, and by that time it was about midnight. So, I mean, like, fireworks were going off, stuff like that. So, I mean, New Year's, yay, woohoo! And, like, we went to Walmart, and Walmart was pretty much shut down, which is pretty crazy. I've never really seen that before. It was like, people were there, but no one was doing anything. It was really strange for Walmart. And, all of us were like, man, I'm really hungry. Let's go get something to eat if we can find somewhere to go eat. And we were like, maybe McDonald's is open. Nope, McDonald's was closed. Maybe Burger King. Nope, it was closed. Any fast food restaurant was closed at like 10 o'clock, which was, I mean, I get it, but it was just crazy to see like the city so dead almost. It was kind of weird. And so we were like, well, crap, I wonder if anywhere is going to even be open at this time. And luckily, gas stations were, because everybody needs gas stations. So the gas stations were open. And what was bad was like we'd already passed pretty much all of the gas stations that were like around us, so we had to go to this one on the opposite side of town from us. And at this time too, I still believe we lived in another town that was just south of the of Roswell, the city I live in now. And we had to go to this other gas station, and to get to it we had to kind of cross town. And so what happened was we were going on this one street, and there's this intersection. It's not really it's an intersection, but it's like a T intersection instead of like a four-way. It's just a three-way. And basically, there's the street we were on that was going east and west, and then there was this north and south street that came and connected into it. And on this side of the street, it was houses. So it was like road, houses, and then road, and then houses on the inside of that. So we were in like a little neighborhood, and we were going straight, and when we got to that intersection, this car came flying in front of us, and we T-boned it, but it wasn't like we just flat out smashed it, T-boned it. It was like it kind of slid across the front of our car, and because of that, it like kind of turned on its side and started rolling, and the way it rolled, it actually popped itself up onto its front end and landed with its back tires on the top of some house. So it was a pretty crazy sight to see. Now, for us, for me and my family, we were all fine, and the driver was actually pretty okay. I mean, I think he might have had like a couple broken bones, but other than that, I mean, got out like pretty decently for as crazy as the crash was. And so what was crazy about that crash was there was a couple things. It was one, had we not hit the dude, he probably would have gone about 60 miles per hour into houses, which would have been bad just for houses and cars' sake, because luckily the house that he probably would have hit had he gone straight into it, no one was there because they were on vacation. And now the house that he landed on, the family was there, but it was actually like a duplex kind of thing, and they were on the opposite side. They just felt the whole house shake, and they thought, wow, those are some crazy fireworks. And so that whole thing happened. What was also crazy was there was a car that he hit that was parked on the side of the road that caused him also to kind of start that crazy flipping and like spinning and stuff. And had he not hit that, he probably would have just rolled straight into the duplex, the empty side of it anyway. So it was pretty crazy. And then a third thing was like just the fact that like the area that he hit on either of the houses, no one was in those houses. So it was pretty cool that like everything worked out just fine. Nothing major happened. That car that we had was pretty much totaled. I mean, like, it crunched the engine pretty decently. His car was jacked up, so we both lost our vehicles that night. But, I mean, other than that, I'd rather lose a vehicle than a life, so it was all right. Now, go from that story to about a year, well, not even about, almost exactly a year later, on New Year's Day, I believe, No, it wasn't New Year's Day. It was about a week after New Year's, because I remember it being in January. My dad was driving to work, and he worked at another city that's about probably an hour south of ours. And he was going to work there, and on this day, it was like super foggy. Like visibility was probably about 30%, maybe if even that. Like you couldn't see 10 yards in front of your car. So it was pretty crazy. And he was like doing the right thing. Like I don't think he broke like 45 that day, like driving. But he came up to an intersection. It was a four-way, and he had the right of way, and the other guy didn't have the other guy had a stop sign. So the other dude though was going like 60, and he had his headlights on, but still, even with headlights on, you can't see in the fog. So he was probably going 60, something like that, like the actual speed limit. And luckily, he just hit like the back end of my dad's truck and just kind of spun him around and stuff like that. So it wasn't anything too crazy. What was really crazy though, what everybody was kind of like, wow, that's kind of insane, was my dad had this like plastic cover on his on the bed of his truck. And like, you know, the ones that like pop up and then you can put it back down kind of thing. It was like that. The way the dude hit that truck, it popped that cover off and sent it spinning through the air like a frisbee for probably like, I don't know, 40 or 50 yards. It was pretty, like, my dad said that, like, when they went looking for it, they said it was, like, really far away. And they were just like, wow, that's pretty crazy. And, so, yeah. Moral of the story of both of these stories is, one, New Year's is a sucky time to drive. So if you can stay away from it, do it. Even if you're being, like, smart and you're not, like, drinking and driving or, like, you didn't, like, stay up real late or anything like that. It's just driving at New Year's sucks butt. So don't do that. Two, always be safe in any situation. So, I mean, especially on New Year's, even on New Year's, like, even if, like I just said, like, you didn't do anything, like, if you hadn't been doing anything bad, still just be cautious of everyone else, because even though you're doing the right thing doesn't mean everybody else did. Another thing, that was, like, a really weird, another thing is, yeah, just, always be aware, and especially, like, in fog and crap like that, lights don't help, so just drive slower. Even if you think, I can see plenty in front of me, just don't. Because then a deer jumps out in front of you and you hit it and you get flipped over and you die. And then everybody's all sad and whatnot. So just be safe and stuff. But, oh, I just thought of another thing that was pretty crazy about that New Year story. The car on the house one was, on the way back from that theater that we were at, we saw a cop. And so all of us were like, probably put our seatbelts on. Ha 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 ha. Like joking, because none of us were wearing our seatbelts. And so we were like, cool, okay. So we all put our seatbelts on. Luckily, we saw that cop car, and it reminded us to put our seatbelts on like a bunch of freaking idiots. And, yeah, that was pretty much the whole story and all that stuff. Look at my dead body. He's so cute. But anyway, that's the video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to, like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and family and grandparents and uncles and aunts and cousins and nephews and nieces. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo, bye-bye. Pew!